This is a great example of a math question that is, as I've been saying throughout this module, just about instructions. Follow the instructions. The only thing we need to know is that a ratio is a fraction. So if we just follow this very literally, the ratio 140 to m, 140 to m, is equivalent, that means equals, to the ratio 4 to 28. What is the value of m? Well, at this point, there's all sorts of things you do. You go to Desmos and just turn the m into an x and solve it that way, or maybe you can see maybe the relationship between things, but the simplest, least thought-involved way of doing it is just to cross-multiply and divide, right? So when you have two fractions equal to each other, we cross-multiply diagonally, right? So if the equals is in between those things, we can do this. If it's a times between them, no. Multiplying fractions doesn't work this way. This is only because they're equal to each other. So 4m, that's easy, and then 140 times 28, go to the calculator, is 3920. Divide by 4 to get m alone, and divide by 4, and I get 980, and that is the answer. Done. So very simple. And this is number 18. So this is, even in the first module, supposed to be kind of a harder question. So the reason I think most people are going to be freaked out by it is they just don't know what a ratio is. This sounds weird, this sentence, but ratios are fractions. So all you're doing is turning these words into an equation to solve. And it's a very simple equation, and you need to be able to work with fractions. So that's another thing that a lot of people who hate math, it's not so much they hate math, they hate fractions. And so you got to get comfortable with that. Fractions are not scary. Fractions are actually really convenient. I'd much rather work with fractions than decimals. So get used to this and understand the rules of fractions. There's tons of stuff on Khan Academy, tons of stuff on my website, my channel about how fractions work. So I would definitely just make sure you're really comfortable with that, because it's going to come up on every SAT. And if you're not comfortable with it, you're going to have a lot of trouble, not just on the PSAT that you're taking, but any math class that you're going to take in the future.